The streets of San Francisco. The streets of San Francisco.
I just said it would be the truth. Stop.
You can't handle the truth. The streets of San Francisco. The streets of San Francisco. San Francisco. San Francisco. San Francisco.
Okay, this is...
The streets of San Francisco.
I think it's 1455 was the address of OpenAI. So let's see. Oh yeah, I guess it is right up here. So this is it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. Because I remember that they have this bridge here. So maybe I'll... Okay, so a long list of things that I've noticed about this San Francisco peninsula that demonstrate it's actually, believe it or not, as crazy as this may sound, it's actually a massive petrified giant. It's about 250 miles tall. Fallen giant. It's fallen on its side. Its right side is exposed. And it gets a lot weirder than that because it just happens to be the giant, the beast that they're describing in Revelation 13 in the Bible. So I've been making videos about it for about 4 years, over 4 years, and I didn't get this from the truth narrative or a biblical scholar. I got it from visions. I saw this in like supernatural, really intense vision. The OpenAI headquarters is built right on the actual eyeball of this beast. So, as weird as that sounds, that's exactly what's going on. So this is a, petrified eyeball, and the headquarters of OpenAI is built on it. And the eyeball has been reanimated through technology. It's a massive petrified giant that's been reanimated. So this OpenAI company is not a real company. It's just that it's the beast system reanimating himself, and it's using this fake company to do it. And it tells you right in plain sight it's what it's doing. But most people are just too blinded to see it. But this is clearly the beast's right eye. Look at these diagrams I'm showing. And it's what it is. It's not a maybe. And this proves that these companies aren't started by these CEOs. It's not Sam Altman or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or Elon. They're not starting these companies. The beast is using these puppets to create these facade companies to enact its demonic technology, and steal souls. These people, there are no companies or governments, like I keep trying to tell you. And if you hold on to that fantasy, you're going to lose your soul in the end days. Stop, everyone, I hate to break the news, but everyone that clings to these truther fantasies and these false biblical fantasies and stuff, they're not going to make it. They're not going to pass tribulations. So let's get to the video. I'll park and we'll get out. But those are odd stones, those gold stones, slabs of stone. So, yeah, so let's see. So this is it. And nectar, I don't know what that is. Sounds creepy. But, see if there's a place to park. But yeah, I mean, look at the Apple headquarters. It's on the belly button of this giant. And, you know, Nutrix CRISPR. What the hell? I don't know what that is. Looks like biotech. Look, in there, look at these guys look like they're doing biotech. Damn. Nutrix CRISPR right next to OpenAI. Let's go down this street. Bridgeview. So, but this is more of that architecture. See, that gate is going to close down. See, it's symbolizing imprisonment. So don't move into a building that has that kind of gate on it. But whatever that is, that's what they do. They're imprisoning people. So that may be that Nectar or some other biotech company. I don't know. But see, this is the bridge. Hillary Point Lane. But all that right there, that's OpenAI. And it was built by Uber. And then OpenAI leased it from Uber, I guess, or bought it from Uber or whatever. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another thing of one of many things. There's your Waymo self-driving taxi. One of many things I've shown now about this giant being the beast with the head wound, the reanimated giant, the giant that was killed, says in the Bible, as it were killed. Were, past tense, you know. So this giant basically is the beast that the world is wandering after. And if you look at everybody in their telephones and staring into their glass screens, they certainly are wandering after this beast. But I'm going to show you its eye, and I'm going to show you the OpenAI headquarters, and I'm going to show you how, you know, OpenAI is not called OpenAI by, you know, accident. It's telling you right to your face, it's the beast with the head wound, which is the Antichrist. It's telling you that this is the open eye of the Antichrist. It's Donald Trump's right eye, and believe it or not, because Trump is an avatar of this giant. So that's a lot of things to process. So
The streets of San Francisco.
all right, so today we're going to go down. This video, I went down to the OpenAI headquarters. You guys have heard of OpenAI. Basically, they're at the forefront of the AI, the so-called AI, you know, boom or explosion, whatever, which is coming out of the frontal lobe of this giant. San Francisco Peninsula is a giant. It's a massive petrified giant. It's the giant described in Revelation 13, the beast with the head wound. And basically, this is its eyeball right here. And what I'm going to show you is that the eyeball is where the headquarters of OpenAI is. So, and when you go down there, you can see there's a statue of sliced eyeball, I think. And but it's just real weird. You've got Oracle Stadium, okay, on the eyeball, and then this thing is clearly an eyeball on the old maps. And it's been filled in, and basically they call this the Mission Bay area, and this is its tear ducts. And I've shown the old seat maps, and you can see the tear ducts. And this is clearly an eye socket. And so right here, right in the center of its eyeball, right where see, this is the cove, the eyeball. Right here is where the OpenAI headquarters is. So when they say OpenAI, it's a literal name of what it really is. It's an actual eye opened up, and that's a function of this company. This is the beast's eyeball. Okay, that's what the company's doing. It's looking, it's seeing for the beast. It's its beast's right eye. And this is not wrong. You know, you laugh all you want, but this is real truth. This is really what's happening. And just remember, this is how it is with all of these companies. They're not real companies. They're just not. And, you know, if you're holding on to this fantasy that there's companies and countries and governments and, you know, these kind of, you know, things, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in deep, deep trouble. And it's just not how it is. And you're not going to make it unless you can get rid of those, let go of that stuff and think about this outside of those parameters. You're not going to make it. You have to think outside of the construct. You have to think outside of time, or you're just not going to make it. You're going to have to save your soul, and you don't have much time. So I wouldn't play around with this. I would just throw all those old ideas in the trash can and get on with this, because this is serious. And I'm not saying this to put you down or hurt you or be better than you or one-up you or scare you. I'm saying this to help you. There's a few souled humans that can get out of this. And so that's who I'm trying to appeal to. That's who I'm talking to. So if you're one of those people, don't play around with the truth narrative or the Bible people. They're going to lead you astray. They're put there by the beast. So let's get back to the video. Here. So nobody started. Sam Altman didn't start OpenAI. They're not developing anything. This was all done through them. They're robots. And they're controlled beings, and this is all done through them, and by the beast system, Satan, the old dragon, Lucifer, and the beast with the head wound. They use these little people like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg to start these companies. They made Sam Altman start OpenAI. So you know they're controlled beings, and the beast system. Satan and Lucifer and the beast with the head wound started OpenAI, not Sam Altman. And it's like that for all the companies. There's no such thing as Elon Musk or, you know, any of these people. They're all being run by the beast system. They're fake CEOs to keep you in delusion. There are no CEOs. None of these people. It's not Bezos or Zuckerberg or any of these people. They're not really behind this. It's not Palantir, Peter Thiel, you know. And if you're tied to that, you're tied to sin. Oh, I'm hating on Peter Thiel, and I'm living in fear and anger and self-righteous anger. No, you're in sin. It's not, Peter Thiel's got nothing to do with Palantir. And Palantir is not there's no government. You need to wake up. You know, this is the beast system right in your face. And if you can read, you can see the names. They all tell you, the CEO names tell you they're fake characters. So when I say there's no governments, no CEOs, no DARPA, no Palantir, no countries, you know, what I mean is those things are facades. They're fake. They're props. They're props created by this beast system. The devil, Satan, you know, the beast with the head wound, which is the San Francisco Peninsula, and Lucifer in the North Bay, linked by these bridges. This is the beast system. They're spoken of in every religion. The Bible, all the religions are the same religion. You need to wake up. And if you fail to recognize what I'm saying and you insist on holding on to this fantasy, the governments or DARPA and Sabrina Wallace and the IoT, if you fail to grasp what I'm saying and you coddle these fake truth fantasies, you will take the mark. Listen to me close. I swear to you, I promise you, you will take the mark of the beast if you continue to believe in these fantasies that the fake truthers are selling you, and the fake preachers and the fake scholars. You will end up taking the mark. The devil put them there for a reason. They're not there just for decoration. So think it through. Do the math. So we're not being mean or anything. Just we're in the end days. We're in the fourth horse. Carolyn Levitt is the fourth horse. And this is tribulations. So you don't want to play around. I'm just showing my experience, what I've seen. And hopefully it's going to help a few people. But you don't want to play around with this IoT and Sabrina Wallace and DARPA. And these are yes, they're kind of the truth. They're getting close to the truth. You're getting warm, but you're still blindfolded and you're still tapping around with your cane. Not, it's time to get rid of the cane and the blindfold and just, if you're playing around with the truth narrative or any of these, accepted truther narrative propaganda people, Canaanite truthers, if you're playing around with any of them or trying to integrate what I'm saying in with what they've said or decode it yourself, you're not gonna make it, And you're playing around inside the matrix. You're still in the matrix. You're right where Satan wants you, right inside of the matrix, playing around with your little truther fantasies. And I'm telling you, you're gonna have to get out of that if you really want to make this. And you really want to get out of this realm, and you want to get out of this hellish scenario, this tribulations, So it's not easy, The truther narrative's easy. Any schmuck can glom onto the truther narrative and follow Richie from Boston and Whitney Webb or whatever. Any idiot can do that. It takes somebody that's hardworking and spiritual to go beyond what they're offering and look deeper and get down to the end time hidden truth, Through God. God's going to show you, Not Richie and Sabrina Wallace. They're not going to be telling you the truth. It's not available from people like that. So let's get back to the video. And again, I hate to be harsh, but this is this very serious matter. These people's souls are on the line. It's very serious. Also, if you look at this map, you can kind of see it looks like there's like an eyebrow or an eyelash at the top of the eye, which is actually, it's made up of like moored boats, like in a marina type situation. So, and then the things coming off the lens of the eye are kind of interesting too. So, it's just, you see this in all, like the Trump silhouette that I've shown, and it's pretty crazy. And I wonder what the significance is of that old rusted barge that's been out there forever. It's like the eye wants to keep it there for some reason. It's maybe it's magnetic properties, or I don't know. And the company names tell you what their bodily function really is. Googling and it's gurgling in its stomach. You just need to wake up. But anyway, let's get to the video. Bye. A lot of people are just going to turn off and go, oh, no, this is fucking, guys, wow, just a little channel. I'm going to go listen to something more polished and more along with, that fits in with my truth or knowledge. So they'll turn off what I'm saying, and they're missing out, because I'm telling you, this is the real end time truth. This is the real truth of the Bible and the beast and all that. From what I've seen, it's God's test is to see how far you'll go in, going against the mainstream and the truther narrative to get to the real truth. How far will you go? Or will you just, succumb to peer pressure and do what everyone else is doing? Oh, I'll just follow Richie and Dr. Carrie Majay and Whitney Webb. See, well, you're not going to pass, You're going to have to work harder than that. So this is not an easy test that any lazy, weak, uncourageous person can just waltz in and pass. It's not that easy. You got to work at it. This involves giving up all of the 7 deadly sins, which I told you are the 7 chakras of your body. So your whole body has to be aligned with virtue and devoid of sins. So you're not, if you're all caught up in yourself, oh, my lineage, like this one subscriber of mine, you're not going to make it. Oh, me, my image, I want you to think this of me. Oh, if you're thinking like that, you're not going to make it. You're going to have to get into virtue and out of sin, and you have to work at it. It's not easy. And I don't know, maybe the Bible was made by this beast, or who knows, it could be a lot of things. Who wrote it, what it is, I don't really know. But I know one thing. This is what they're talking about in Revelation 13, this Bay Area, and there's no doubt about it. And it's either been recreated or made, or who knows. That's up for debate. But the more I look into it, the more real it's starting to look. So the debate, the terms are starting to close in because the evidence is mounting. And I'm certain that in the end days coming up here, it'll become really clear that all this stuff I've laid out on my channel is actually correct. As weird as it seems, as crazy as it seems, it will be shown to the people who earned this end time truth. It will be shown, yes, indeed, the San Francisco Peninsula is part of the beast. It's a living, reanimated giant. It's completely built out underneath it, inside, like it's like something like CERN. It makes CERN look like a toy. It's huge. It's massive, a massive beast system. And it's running the world. It's running a software program, in a matrix program. And it's controlled by the old. So what I'm telling you is underneath the entire San Francisco Peninsula, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, all of it is built out, completely through the body, underground of this giant, this massive, petrified, 250-mile tall giant. And I'm pretty sure that the TV or whatever Netflix series, Stranger Things, when they talk about the upside down, they're talking about underneath this giant. That's what the upside down is. And so, if you've watched that show, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's a huge secret tricks program, installation under the beast system, under Silicon Valley, underneath San Francisco, that's massive. And it makes CERN look like a toy joke. It's like, CERN's only 17 miles. This thing's 250 miles. And it's built out a lot more than CERN. So CERN is a distraction. They don't want you to see what I'm talking about. So they made CERN. I mean, all the distractions that the beast makes are always functional. But so that's what it is. It's the upside down in Stranger Things. So yeah, and I do flip cars with my mind. So you can figure that one out on your own. Okay, so driving up this street, 3rd Street, is basically just driving up the, side of this giant's face and driving right up to its eyeball. So back over here, Potrero Hill's part of its nose, and this is its, driving up its nose to its eyeball. And I'm going to go up to OpenAI. And been telling you guys for 4 years that this is its eyeball. And I have videos about 13th Street being the ocular nerve. I've shown that the old seat maps that show all the waterways underground in the city show that, yes, indeed, this region of the city is an eyeball, and it's a tear duct. It's got a tear duct, and 13th Street is its tear duct. And so you can see on this waterway map of the city that indeed, the tear ducts are represented The nasal passages are represented in the, and further down are, is the larynx and the throat passages. Crystal Springs Reservoir is its windpipe, its throat. So it's just every single thing on this map, and when you drive there in person, it checks out. This is a giant, and it's like it's just not a maybe anymore, people. So if you can't wrap your head around it, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just not a maybe. So through intense supernatural visions, things were shown to me. And so I started investigating it. And by going out and looking at the geology, looking at the fixtures, looking at the different companies and their functions, just looking at all of the whole picture and looking at the rocks, and looking at the names, it's actually named. If you can kind of, decode it, it's actually named for what it really is, right to your face. The San Francisco Giants, Oracle Stadium, like, wake up, it's right there in your face. Mount Diablo, everything is told to you. People just they're in a brainwashed construct, so they can't see it. But yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, this is the beast system in Revelation 13, and it's, I think, God's design. He doesn't want everyone to understand this, because, like I said, if they didn't want to do the work, and they let all these sins, their greed and their ego and pride and sloth and stuff like that, get in the way, then it's maybe they're going to have to repeat the course, or they fail or whatever. But for whatever reason, this is an easy thing to grasp, and it's not for everybody. So, but yeah, you just can't. And again, don't try and play with the truth. Don't mix in what I'm saying with the truth narrative, because it won't work. You're mixing rat poison in with good food, and you're going to poison yourself. And don't come to me and try and feed me your Richie from Boston rat poison, or your Max Egan rat poison, or whatever, fake truth or you're following. Because I'm not buying it. I'm not eating it. So let's get back to the video. Open AI. Duh. There's Uber. See right there? Uber. Okay, that's Uber's world headquarters. It's not an accident. All these companies are here, headquartered. And that's Oracle Arena. That's the they call it Chase Center. And that's the basketball stadium. That's where the Golden State Warriors play. And right up there is the baseball stadium, Oracle Arena. So Oracle Stadium, I should say. So this isn't a joke. This is where the eyeball is. I'll show you the old maps. You can clearly see the eyeball. And it even had, in the very early maps, it even had a little island where part of its eyeball was sticking out, like its pupil was sticking out of the water. So even back in 1869, you could see how this beast was planning to rebuild itself. And it already started. And that little roadway, which is the road I'm driving up right now in the video, was part of that rebuild. And so this was, the beast had this all planned out and probably ran at all the software, what do you call it? All the projections has already been run through, instantly. And so it's just carrying out its plan, And so, it's like that with all of this stuff. You can see that the Golden Gate Bridge was planned, thousands of years before it was ever built. You can see the beast planned to build it. And, or hundreds of years before it was ever built, And so, The bridge too, in that little eyeball that was this pupil, was called Mission Eye Rock. Like I told you, Miss Eye on. You know, this giant is a female, by the way. It's been gender flipped, so you know. And basically, you see this in the OpenAI headquarters. You see the iteration of the bridge. So it's like paid homage to its early thing, and maybe actually a function of the eye, like the reflecting lens, or some kind of eye function. The bridge. I don't know what it is exactly, but and this Nutrix company next to AI, by the way, too, is dealing with wearables and how they fit in with AI. So interesting that it would be located on the eyeball and be located right next door to OpenAI. So, like I said, not every single company. I mean, every single company is on the bodily function. So that doesn't happen by accident, and it's not. It isn't planned out by independent CEOs or masons. This is something far bigger than that. That's building this beast system out. That's why I say, there's a lot of treachery involved in all the churches and the truther narratives and everything, the mainstream narrative, because this beast system, it's a supercomputer, and it understands human psychology better than we do by far, and it knows how to manipulate us. And so the entire truther narrative was designed to capitalize on our weaknesses and shortcomings and delude us, and so it could take our souls and feed off of our souls. And the same thing for the church narrative, the 501c churches and all your pastors. They're all being controlled by this beast, and it's got maximum bang for and complete access to how to manipulate the human mind. So if you're thinking you're some smart truther and you're gonna decode this, and because you watch Enter the Stars on YouTube and Archaics, you're gonna know it's not gonna happen. So this is difficult. So let's get back to the video. Like a fluke or a guess or a wrong, or there's too many body parts, animated body parts on this giant for this to be insignificant. So either the beast or somebody, something is making it look like a giant and making it look like it's been animated. So there's the stadium. That's where Steph Curry and the Warriors play. And Chase Center. Let's see. Right back that's the Bay Bridge and the Oracle Park, and this is OpenAI. So it's like a reanimated giant. So the people who work here are predetermined to work here. They have the electric kinetic software in them to work here. And not everyone here is a robot either. I'm sure they have real humans, and basically they're helping the giant become animated, become real, keeping the giant alive, and it's harvesting their souls. It's harvesting our souls. It's breeding us and harvesting us, and that's how it stays alive. It's iron and clay, so it's a living, dead giant. It's been brought back to life, just like Frankenstein. I'd like to interview some of these people and ask them if they think, hey, could this be the beast system in the Bible? And why is all the tech here in San Francisco? Have you guys ever considered that? But look, they get all the best, like, gardens and art and all this stuff. Look, how much did all this cost? You know, they can get all this in their public space, but go into the ghetto, what do they get? You know, look at theirs, like, this must be for their children. They have their child daycare for their kids. Look, it's huge. So they probably get daycare, or they make a lot of money. So this is the eyeball. See, look at this. All this art. This isn't cheap. Who cares? You know, whatever. Who cares? But it's just terrible. And you know, this rock is some body part, you know. And the beast knows it, and it's celebrating it and putting it in our face and laughing. You know what this is? I bet you I know what it is. This is the slices of an eyeball, and they've put them out as a statue. That's what this is. It's petrified eyeball. Would not be surprised. So, you know, this is maybe like a green or brown eye. See? That's what this is. The beast it just tells you right to your face through its architecture what's really going on, you know. And this bridge probably has something to do with ocular, you know, see the different parts of the eye, you know. It's just how, I mean, I've seen it all, how they do this, you know. It's got the Apple computer. Even its gardens are built in like in a kind of a, what do you call it? Belly button. Like they have the folds of a belly button. And all this is all, you know, UCSF Medical, Cancer Research Building, blah, blah, blah. So they should hire me to refinish all their woodwork. So I can afford to make videos about them. Maybe I'll ask them. You think they'll hire me? Look, it needs to be fit. I actually know a lot about how to finish this wood and how to do it right. These guys didn't do it right. And that's why it's all, see how it's all messed up over there? So they should hire me for that, but I don't want to go through the front security because they'll be like, oh, what the hell? Yeah, this is it. This is OpenAI. And it's an eyeball. So the eye's open. So there you go. You know. And I just keep seeing more and more stuff. And this is Nectar. I'll look them up, but see, they got all their generators and everything. Cryo freezing, and this is some biotech company. Probably has to do with eye work too, you know, something to do with sight in the Giant's Eye. Everything, all the buildings are built on the function. There they go. Is a lot of these, same thing with Anthropic. It's just this big, scary, super expensive building, and doesn't even say what it is. You know what I mean? No sign or anything. But that's what it is. So there's people up there working, but this is just a part of the eye. So the beast sees us, sees everything, and then puts it into its eyeball, and then transmits it out. So, is anyone else saying this? Nobody. I'm the only person on Earth that's talking about this. So put yourself in my shoes. And, you know, I've been blacklisted. I've all kinds of stuff for this channel, and so whatever, But I mean, it's all in God's time and on God's schedule, because I realized the reason I gave all that up and the reason all that had to go is because eventually I'm gonna have to go, and I can't take all that with me anyway. So I'm leaving this realm. All right, so there you have it. Basically, I have to work in the morning, and so I'm cutting this video short. I don't have time to explain all the other stuff. Maybe in the next video I'll explain it, but basically, OpenAI it's just part of the beast being reanimated, and I could make a list of all the different things, that I've shown that are functions of this beast system being reanimated, this beast system working through technology, these giants being behind all of this agenda and behind all the biotech, all the AI, and all the technology, and all the military industrial complex, which did start in the Silicon Valley. All the high-tech military stuff started there. So I could put a list together and show you of all the different buildings and how they correspond to the body, and all the bridges, and how they they show the relationship between the different giants. Lucifer and the beast with the head wounds, the Golden Gate, etc. And you could see it. People who've watched all my videos, or a lot of my videos, know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just it's what's happening. But like I said, it's not in the truth narrative. It's not accepted truth or dogma, truth or propaganda. You're not going to hear Max Egan talking about it. And the reason you're not going to hear Max Egan talking about it is because he's a alcoholic, cokehead, Canaanite, fake truther, grifter. He's one of the worst ones. He's disgusting. That's why he runs with Archaics. Archaics is the most egregious fake truther, and Max Egan's not far behind him. But if you're believing any of these people, you're literally getting fooled and deluded by Satan's demons, literally, So this is why I'm not on board with the truth narrative. It's Satan's narrative. It's not right. It's good, yeah, it sounds better than the mainstream narrative, but it's still a big lie. It's still a big hoax. So I'm interested in the truth. I'm not interested in being told a fancy, a sugar-coated lie. So, that's what the truth narrative is. It's just a more palatable lie that panders to your sins. So, sorry. Yeah, I guess I sound pretty bitter and angry, but it's because I've seen so many good people destroyed by the truth narrative, and it's tragic, and these were ones that had more of a chance, and so it's very tragic. But until next video, I guess I'm gonna cut this short, but yeah, just keep an open mind. I think you're gonna find it's more along the lines of what I'm saying. It's not, don't demonize, oh, Sam Altman, oh, Peter Thiel, oh, they're villains. Oh, they're not really. I don't even think these people know. Like I said, these people are watching my videos. All these tech CEOs, I know for a fact they're watching. And you got to ask why, And I know for a fact all these big truthers are watching too. A lot of them. And yet none of them mention it. And boy, there's going to come a day when they regret that. The people who came on my channel and farmed it for material, for content to sell. Those people there's going to come a day when God unleashes holy hell on them, and they'll be so sorry, and so I mean, if I were one of you guys, I'd mention the channel. I'd link it now while you have a chance, But I've already said it once before, and nobody. No. They don't want to link it. They don't want to go out on a limb, and they don't want to reveal their source of their little edgy truther thing, And it's like that. There's other channels like mine. They're hard to find, though. You're really hard to find. So, But these big channels, they comb through and they find them. And then they use them. And they never mention them. And that's wrong. Because if they're really for truth, they'd be telling. They'd be saying, look at what this little channel I found. Look. That's what I do when I find the little channels. I tell everybody about it. So whatever. I don't even care. It's on them. It's just, I just think they need to think it through. You better think through what's going to happen. And people they believe that all there is the material and their own self-preservation and material, preservation and comfort. And it's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite of that. And people don't see that, So, but anyway, so this was pretty interesting, And another thing I wanted to add is, back before they built out Mission Bay, I was down there one day. I forget what I was doing, but they were driving all the pylons to build those buildings down there. And I saw them with these big, pile drivers that were driving these things down into the bedrock, into that eyeball, And I'm thinking back, and I'm pretty sure they sliced those slabs of rock right out of that eye. So those slabs in front of Uber, or in front of OpenAI, they really are. That's the eyeball. And I've seen on the other Giants channels pictures of, petrified eye, and that's what it looks like. And you can Google up slices of eyeball and stuff, and you'll see it is exactly. It's all those micro thin layers. That's how the eyeball's made. So that's what it is. It's that beast literally put pieces of its own petrified eye out there as this sculpture in front of its, AI company. It's this hoax company. So I hope this sheds light on it, and I hope that people that are going around believing in AI get some clarity. Just think it through. Where does all that go in the internet? Where does internet go to? It's like it goes to the central beast system. It comes to where? The Bay Area, San Francisco Peninsula. No, and it's not D-Wave. Whatever's down there is a lot bigger than D-Wave. Makes D-Wave look like a joke. And it goes right into the mainframe processors. And anything, that you ask it or whatever, it's coming from the beast. It's not coming from some artificial intelligence. It's just not where it's coming from. It goes, yes, probably goes through this artificial intelligence apparatus and their data centers and all that. But ultimately, it's coming straight from the beast. All these people are tied directly into the mainframe beast computer. And I think, like I said, it's God's technology that's been turned against God. And there's that black cube in Lucifer's colon up in, the Russian River, where it's That's what's underneath the Bohemian Grove. I have a video about it. And it's right. That's what it is. So this is what it is. This is the black cube that you see those statues all over the world, and they wear them on their heads and this and that. Black cube this, black cube that. Well, that's what it is. You know, that's where AI is going to. It's not some tech bro made something up. It's not what it is. You need to wake up, man. Stop believing them, you know? Stop believing them. All right, I gotta go. Bye.
The streets of San Francisco. The streets of San Francisco.
I just said it would be the truth. Stop.
You can't handle the
Let me
truth.
out.
The streets of San Francisco. The streets of San Francisco. San Francisco. San Francisco. San Francisco.
Okay, this is...
The streets of San Francisco.
Okay, so, for a long list of things that I've noticed about this San Francisco peninsula that demonstrate it's actually, believe it or not, as crazy as this may sound, it's actually a massive petrified giant.